Hi, this is Terry Ryder from hotspotting.com.au. The media around Australia has been having a bit of a feeding frenzy in the last week or so over a couple of documents about negative gearing policy and the impact of negative gearing tax benefits on housing affordability. One of them is a leaked document from the Federal Treasury, and the other is a half-finished research paper from economists at Melbourne University. And both apparently claim that scrapping negative gearing tax benefits would have only a minor impact on home values around Australia, but at the same time somehow would bring about a major improvement in housing affordability and the rate of home ownership. There's been lots of commentary on the significance of these documents, especially with regard to federal government policy. But I've not seen any media reports from writers who have actually challenged the documents themselves. Their findings apparently are deemed to be factual and beyond scrutiny. The worst contribution to this endless and seemingly fruitless debate about affordability and its causes and its solutions has come from the Melbourne University research paper. I'd like to highlight a couple of points about this so-called research and ask a few questions that media should be asking of the authors of the report, but so far have not done so. The first question is, why would the authors publish research that's not yet finished? It is, according to the authors, preliminary and incomplete. And one of those authors says that when the research modelling is complete, the results may change, particularly the forecast size and the increase in home ownership rates. Another question I'd like to ask is, how can you claim that the suggested policy would cause a 30% reduction in rental property supply and therefore an increase in rents, but also claim that renters everywhere are going to be better off? It seems that the authors are assuming that this massive reduction in supply, reducing the supply of rental properties by a third, they say, is only going to cause a rental rise of about 2%. They're also assuming that the federal government is going to come along and financially compensate tenants in the private rental market for any higher rents that would result from this policy. Now, these are absolutely massive assumptions, and no one in Australian media has challenged them. It's worth remembering that these significantly higher rents resulted when a Labor government scrapped negative gearing tax benefits in the mid-1980s and then had to reinstate those benefits very quickly because of the unforeseen adverse impacts, particularly in the rental market, which saw rents soar in our major cities. The university paper claims that property values as a result of scrapping negative gearing tax benefits would fall only 1.2%, but somehow this very insignificant decline in house prices would generate a massive rise in home ownership from the current level of about 66% to a new level of 72%. And I'd like to ask, how have they come up with these very precise but unexplained estimates? There's no explanation in any report that I've read for the claim made by the Melbourne University research paper that 76% of households would be better off under the suggested policy change. We're only told that the authors used an economic model. So that report is out there, media's having a bit of a field day, but nobody's challenged the authors of the report about some of the outrageous assumptions that they've made, particularly the one about the federal government coming along and spending billions of dollars a year compensating tenants in the private rental market for higher rents that will result from the reduction in rental supply. Without that assumption being correct, the whole report collapses. I think this report needs some major scrutiny and not accepted as face value as media to date has done so. This is Terry Ryder from Hotspotting. That's it for now. Talk to you again soon.